welcome the groupmates. And then for this session, we are going to talk about, we are going to debate about the idea of having or allowing cell phones within classes, right? Especially in high schools. And we have the opposing team, I mean the supporting team and the opposing team. Within our supporting team, we have Elsina Hamanaya, Benanti, and Ninit with us. They are going to support the idea of having or allowing cell phones so that within high schools. And then in our opposing team, we have Claudine, we have Rofis, and Devin with us. They are going to oppose the idea of having a cell phone. And then as for a rule, they are going to have a rule. Some of our rules are active listening, right? We agree on that. Okay, we are going to actively listening and the trusted speaker who is going to be giving us information and then helping us to know their point of view. Okay, we are going to start about the idea. The first speaker is going to take around 6 minutes and then we are going to continue on the second and third one. So we are going to start with the supporting team. Please could you assist us on understanding why it's better to have cell phones allowed within high schools. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Marcela from supporting team. We're proposing the motion that says that should secondary students be allowed to use cell phones when they are at school? I really and confidently propose this motion and support it because if students can be allowed to use laptop in the school, why not cell phone? Yet they are both technological tools. First of all, I want to give some crucial words that are in the motion. The first one is cell phones. What is the meaning of the cell phones? Cell phones are electronic devices that are used in communication as well as research. So if we can use laptops in research, the way of using laptop is the way we can use also cell phones. The reasons why I support with my team, with my colleague, I support these motions because it's an educational tool, it helps us to be organized, it's bridge the digital divisions that people, they can afford laptops, others they can't afford. So the people that can't afford the laptops, they at least can manage to buy cell phones. So Venancy, or second speaker of the proposition side, will help us to understand how it is useful in communication, especially in emergencies. And the third speaker or last speaker from proposing side will also help us to understand how to promote responsibility among people. So, as other technological devices or as other technological tools, we already know that technology is a heavenly gift that God gives us, but when it's misused, it can be a curse. So the matter is not banning the cell phones in the school. The matter is, are they effectively used? It's not using cell phones, but effectively, or the effective useness of it is that the thing that matters. Education, the reason why I support this is educational to access online resources. For example, we can take an example when we were in the pandemic of COVID-19, the schools were not, we were not allowed to study in person. We didn't have a chance to go to attend schools where the instructor or a teacher is in front of you and teach everything. So we will only have the option of go and stay at your home and use your technological tools or devices to access online resources or materials to continue or to not stop your learning. So if cell phones are not allowed, how can those students in those pandemic, in those circumstances, in those situations, can access education? Yet the in-person education is not necessary, possible. Yet in-person education is not possible. So the only option is using online resources, and it can be or achieved by using cell phones when laptops are not accessible by everyone. The another thing is organizational benefits. These cell phones can help students stay organized. Suppose when you are in high school, you have a lot of tasks to manage in the day, but it's possible to forget like what should you start from and what should you end by with all the tasks that you have to complete on that specific day. But when you have cell phone, there are calendar apps that are always there to remind you like this is the next, this is the next, this is the next. Like how the flowcharts of the following events that are going to be followed. Also, there is also another thing of bridging the digital divides. Some students are able to buy or to afford laptops from others. What about others that are not able to manage or to be able to buy those laptops? If you compare a laptop and a cell phone, laptop is more expensive than cell phone. So, cell phones are accessible compared to the laptops. So some students who are from humble families, if we ban cell phones in the schools, they can be left behind. So by promoting cell phones in the school, we can bridge this gap or remove divisions between students from humble families and students from rich families. So another thing I want to highlight is, as I say, technology is a gift from God. If we use it effectively, it is of importance. But if we misuse it, it's become a curse. It's no longer of benefits. So I want to ask the proposer team, if you can't support cell phones, why do you support laptops? Yet they are both technological tools that can be used in research and even communication. Why laptops, not cell phones? Another question is, if teachers also, teachers use technology to teach students, isn't it fair for the student also to use technology when they are learning? If the student can use technology to teach, isn't it fair for the students to use also technology when they are learning? Another question is, today's world is developing day as one night. So economy of the countries, they are developed by technology or they are driven by technology. So should the schools prepare students to use technology effectively rather than to shelter it? Shouldn't schools prepare the students to use effectiveness of use of technology instead of banning them?
Okay, thank you. I think it's about time. So we have heard the supporting team, their introductory ideas and topics. We are going to continue with our opposition team. Please, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here. I'm Jennifer from opposing side. I'm your office Shime and Kadina Konda. Our motion of today states that should the secondary students be allowed to use cell phones at school? For our side, our response here is no. The cell phone should be restricted from the schools. Here, my points talk about the first one, these cell phones could cause distractions. The second one, these cell phones should cause classroom disruptions. The second speaker will talk about increase of teaching, increase of cheating the students, and also the third one will talk about the cell phones in the schools should cause increase of mental health and security and privacy concern. Here, I'm very excited to talk about this because the cell phones, if they are used in the schools, for example, can say that when we are studying, we didn't use phones and we actually passed with the good marks. So most of the people who don't use the cell phones in the school, they perform well than those who use them. I can start answering the question that you asked. The first one was about why the schools allowed to use laptops rather than phones. I can tell you that using cell phones could be not good because most of people they use I know that laptops also they can insert their social medias, games, but it can't be the same because in some days you can find that the student instead of learning, he or she is chatting on the phone when hiding it. But when they use laptop, it can be easier for them to use them. As I can give you examples here at Kepler College, they say that if you are in the phone, if you are in the class, you have to put your phone in silent mode so that it can't disrupt you, but they allow them to use laptops. The second point is about the classroom disruptions. My friend, I can tell you this one. If the secondary schools allow them to use the phones, you can find that notifications and calls are disrupting you, disrupting the instructors or teachers who are teaching. So we can encourage the secondary schools to don't allow these phones when in the class. I can ask you the question here. Do you want the classroom to be compromised by the constant distractions because of using the phones? I can tell you that let us prioritize education over entertainment. We have to prioritize discipline over distractions and safety over social medias. My friends, I can encourage and tell most of the institutions that are in charge of the education in the secondary schools to don't allow them to use those cell phones. Even if they are going to teach them how to use them effectively and efficiently so as to manage their time on their tasks, they have to harm them from the students because it could be bad rather than good. It has many different reasons, as my friends and my colleagues are going to talk about it. Using phone, it has many different bad things rather than good. Here I can end up by telling you that fair better learning environment, we must keep cell phones out of the classroom so that we might enhance performance. Thank you.
Snapping our presenters and our debaters, we have seen amazing points on both tools, and we are going to continue on the second track, which is going to take 4 minutes. Okay? We only have 4 minutes the second. So I'm going to invite the supporting team so that they can take their 4 minutes and then present their ideas. Please continue.
Thank you so much, dear judges, proposal side, opposite side. I'm here by terms of Iman. So today we are going to discuss on the topic said that should secondary school students be allowed to use cell phones? Totally agree with this motion because it improves communication between parents or guardians or other like transport agencies. For example, I can give you an example here. When you are at your high school, you need school fees while you're going to school, so that school accountant can throw out a student to bring school fees. In that time, a student needs cell phone to call his or her parents in order to communicate about the school fees issues. Also, students can have a guardian who supports him or her. So, for example, you can have NGO who supports students. So, when a school accountant throws out a students can use cell phone to write an email because those governments need official email or other official documents. So students can use it to send a message to those partners. So another thing, for example, you are going in the road, you meet with an issue like traffic jams, so that you can need to take motorbike. You can secondary school students can need faster cell phone to call his or her parents in order to send him or her a ticket so that can take a motorbike in order to fight at his or her school. Thank you so much. This is my point.
And we have seen the supporting team, and then they have proposed us their second main idea, right? And then we are going to continue with the opposition, and then you also have 4 minutes. Use it wisely. The floor is yours.
Thank you, dear judges. Opposing side is my colleague. So first, I'm totally confident with not agree with this today's motion, which says that should secondary student may be allowed to use cell phones during their studies. So the reason why not agree with proposing side is because of the following point that I'm going to share. The first one, impact of mental health. According to the report of Makerere University 2022, shows how the use of cell phone is impacting different students, especially high school, about mental health. I can give you the different evidences. You know, after class, most students, when they are in their dormitories, instead of taking a rest, maybe resting or playing football or other activity which may help them to relax, most of them, they went to use some different platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and take much time by scrolling, watching some videos, because most of them, they are teenagers. They used to watch some nonsense videos, which gave them they do not educate them. So instead of helping them to rest, they increase their overload. Most of them, they are going to make a recap of their studies with headache. To me, that it completely affected them in mental health. So the second one, the reason why the cell phone should be banned, especially in high schools for those students, it promotes security and private concerns. So according to reports of Oxford 2019, these shows that how the security of those students, when they are in their high school and some private concern, they might be used as like the trigger that can cause them just like to make some misunderstanding between them. So for example, you see, if I took your cell phone and I see your video, maybe that reflects to your privacy, maybe I can say that if you don't do this for me, I will put out this video. And you know, most of them are teenagers. They do not consider anything like negative implication that can come as a negative effect. So to me that the cell phone should be banned so as to promote security and to mitigate privacy concerns. So dear judges, even onlookers, I rest my case. If there is any problem or question you can ask, thank you.
Snaps our team. Positive, and we are going to continue with the supporting team. This is the last one. We are going to take 3 minutes. We both have only 3 minutes each, so we can conclude this idea, okay? I'm going to welcome.
Opposing side, and also audience. Good afternoon. So the speaker from opposing side for the motion said that should secondary school students be allowed to use cell phone at school? Yeah, I agree with this motion at 70%. So let's come to the point of a speaker from opposing side. She thought that the cell phone can improve disturbance in a class. And also the second speaker, they says that the student, instead of rest or play football in the the free time, they can use the cell phone. So guys, I am not agree with you for that. For example, my point says that the cell phone is improving responsibilities. You know, if you have your properties, you have to to manage your pen or not to do. Why you can manage your cell phone in the class. You know, if I'm in the time of study or in the time of playing or rest, why you don't know to manage your cell phone as you know to manage your pen or your notebook? So this can help the student to be focusing. You know, if you have your cell phone in class, so you know that the purpose you are in the class. You have to improve your responsibility and to know if I'm in class, in the class to study, why can I use the cell phone instead of the studying? Or why can you use the cell phone when the teacher are in the class? You have to manage your time, to use that cell phone and to improve your responsibility and also it can improve the personal communications. For example, if you are in the class or if you have, for example, the second speaker, they said that instead of the rest or playing football in the free time, the students have the cell phone, can use that time to use the cell phone, then don't sleep time. So you can use this cell phone to improve your work responsibility, and you know if you manage it, it can be the source of learning more skills when you use the cell phone. Thank you.
Thank you for our we are going to continue the same. We are going to have the same time, which is streaming. The floor is yours.
Thank you, as well as opposing this motion at 100%, because I could first answer the question of Minete as she will explain that she supported the motion at 70% because she got the truth. So she said that even the secondary school students could take that responsibility of having the time of using those cell phones. You have to know that there is the age that parents or the school does take the students as people who could know the way of taking their responsibility. So the secondary students they could not remember to study when they have their cell phones. And also, as Sarah started asking us our question, do you know that Rwanda is still underdeveloped country? So do you think that when they allow secondary students to use cell phones, do you think that they can all be able to get those cell phones? And also, as you said that in pandemic periods, students were getting difficulties in having their academics and also able to learn through using technology. As I said, Rwanda is still an underdeveloped country. That's why they used also radios as well as to help those people having post-standard of living to study. So that's why I could tell you that when they even allow the students to use cell phones, they could be difficulties to those poor students who have those cell phones. As well, I'm explaining my points where to allow secondary students to use cell phones, it could increase during like an example. In secondary schools, you know that it's like the students in the age of peers or having the colleagues that uses to make other students to be harassed. They could use those cell phones to make other students to feel out like to unlike the environment they are in. So that's why the use of cell phones they are not good in the school. And the last point I could explain by even showing you that why do we support use laptops instead of also cell phones? Do you know that in secondary school they have labs, the combination that students learn computer labs, they get them to be there and use those laptops to do research and also to do lessons that are dealing, and also they move and they let those laptops in. So to not using those cell phones doesn't mean that they don't get the time to do research. They also do research because government would put those labs to help them to do research. Thank you.
Thank you. And as we have seen, both of our teams have presented strong ideas, starting from privacy, inclusion, and equality. Not only that, but also severe privacy issues, as our opposing team has presented. But as a judge, I think we can find a middle ground, right? I think Kepler have integrated a well-designed policy which supports mobile phones, but prohibits them the use of smartphones within the classes, right? Can we agree that's a good idea? I think you consider it is a little bit working idea, right? It's a little bit middle ground, and I think it supports both of the ideas, right? But I think we all can agree on the idea of those institutions on creating an inclusive environment, such as places which have adequate amount of laptops, not only that, but also they have a secure plan such as the Keepers policies which prohibit the use of any smartphones within the classes, correct? I think we all agree on that, right? And that's all for our debates. We had an amazing group presenting. We have an amazing group, and I think. Do you think we can agree on the middle ground, or should we identify who is the winner? Do you agree on the middle ground? The middle ground works for us, right? Okay, yeah. And as for our team, we are not going to have any winning team, because we agree on the middle ground, and then we decided that it's good to have all cell phones, but it's better to have a ruling policies. Thank you.